He is the CEO of Blast, a global esports entertainment company known for creating and broadcasting premium esports content. Blast partners with top game publishers to deliver major esports tournaments and shows for games like Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, Dota 2, and Valorant. Before Blast, Robbie was, I gave away his name, was VP of Digital EMEA at the Walt Disney Company. Wow, and before that, he worked at Google, specializing in branding and YouTube solutions. This person, Robbie, is bilingual in English and French, fluent in Spanish, and married to a Colombian. Sounds like a good life. So we have Walt Disney, we have Google, English, French, Spanish, and married to a Colombian. This guy's got it going on. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Blast, Robbie Douek. Loud, come on, let's go. Where's Robbie? Let me shake his hand before I get off the stage.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Robbie. You're very welcome.
Absolute pleasure. What an introduction. And my wife even got a mention during that introduction, so she'll be very happy to hear about it. Yes, Robbie here, and I'm delighted to be here in the wonderful island of Malta. It's been a hop, skip, and a jump, but bear with me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the journey of Blast, the journey of esports, and what that means to young entrepreneurs and businesses that are establishing themselves. So let's get into it. But before we do that, what do we know about this guy? Anyone know anything about this guy? He's secretly Maltese. Did anyone know that? His mother was born on the island, Emma Jane Watkins, born on the island, and so Brian Adams is a confessed Maltese individual. And he has a lot of love for this island, and his song, It's Only Love, was probably all about Malta. I've made that up. It's not necessarily true. I was also a very passionate snooker player when I was younger. Who's the most famous Maltese snooker player? Anyone in the room know? Tony Drago. Very good. Thank you very much over there. Card for that guy. But what I liked about this is you should always do things you love. It's all about doing things you love in life, and I absolutely love the global entertainment business. I love everything about spectacle. I love everything about shows. I love everything about production, and I love everything about being in the sunshine. And so when you put the sunshine, production, and entertainment together, what do you get? Malta. There's my connection. A truly global industry. That is what esports is all about. If you think about the world we're operating in today, it's a $300 billion industry, the global gaming market, of which esports will probably occupy at least 5%. By 2030, a $500 billion industry. It has become a worldwide phenomenon. Look at the passion, look at the drive, look at the ambition of these young players. Esports is growing super fast. It's super important to the island, and it's here and very much happening now. As a business, we've grown really from inception 5 or 6 years ago, with billions of hours of viewership, global titles across the world. We'll talk a bit about that, but we really want to showcase why this is important. And to do that, I want to just play you a quick sizzle. We got there. Thank you very much. So that is us in a nutshell. And I put a heart on the screen at the beginning because I really couldn't be more proud of the business that we've created over the period of the last 6 years. But any true entrepreneurial business starts with humble upbringing. We started this business from the ground up about 6 years ago, from a small office in Soho at the top of a road called Carlisle Street. We had about 5 to 7 employees working full-time. We owned no equipment. We operated a few shows in different destinations. And steady as we went, we started investing behind the product. We started investing behind the people that work within the ecosystem. And we really always remained humble and true to what we were good at. And that was the secret to our success. And I have to say that I'm immensely proud of that journey, because then when you move it forwards, you find yourself transforming global stages around the world, entertaining tens of thousands of fans in different destinations, filling out arenas. And that is an incredible spectacle and something that only the best global entertainment companies can aspire to achieve. Our lifeline in terms of how this has evolved started very early on in 2018 and evolved across multiple games. We got very good at Counter-Strike, we started working with Valorant, we started working with Dota, and we found our way into Fortnite and Rocket League and various other games, and we've become a global institution in the esports space. But what I want to share with you is the route to that success and 5 key steps to how you can transform your business and how we think about the success that we've had over that period. So as a starting point, we've always focused on industry-leading entertainment, really being the best in the business, having the global best broadcast, the best production. And I was talking to a few people earlier on today. It's all about hiring the best people that you can find for the job, and then making sure that you train your staff as best as possible to learn from them, and making sure that you're underpinned by an incredible broadcast team. You then mix that together with the world's best publishers, and you've got a recipe for success. We work with 5 of the 10 biggest esports on the planet. In fact, many of them we operate completely exclusively. And that is very much a proud moment for us as a business. And you can see some of those titles here on the screen. And on top of that, we've been very deliberate about building our own ecosystems. And so a branded ecosystem like Blast Premier is now a piece of IP that if you are a keen esports player, you know at home, you watch it in your millions, and actually it's a piece of IP that's very, very profitable as a business. And moving forward, we've just done the last CSGO Major. That was a hugely impressive event in France. We've just launched into Dota, another Blast-owned ecosystem. So what I'm trying to give you a sense of here is we operate some ecosystems with partners where the name is just Fortnite, and some ecosystems where we're very deliberate about putting our brand and our title behind it. That is by design, and so that we can start creating a really valuable piece of IP and a really valuable format off the back of it. So as I mentioned earlier, some of these are shared ecosystems, Rainbow Six. It's actually called Blast Rainbow Six. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you treat your partners really, really well, and the publishers are our partners, and you create best-in-class broadcasts, you're going to get to be able to do some really amazing things in the gaming space and create some incredible spectacle off the back of it. And of course, the list goes on. You'll know a lot of this work here in terms of Riot Games and FIFA and EAFC now, Apex Legends, and many more, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, Valorant, Red Bull. We've done an enormous amount of output across the world. And actually, it makes me very proud that we've been able to achieve that success so quickly. But that geographical spread is very important. As a business, you want to be in the places where you're going to get the best return for your efforts. And so we've spent a lot of time investing in different destinations around the world, trying to create affinity with those crowds. And we've done that in various different places across the planet. And it's built a lot of value for the destinations that are working with us. A couple of snapshots for you of stuff we've done more recently. In France, for example, we sold 50,000 tickets in the Accor Arena across 3 days. 1.5 million live concurrents during the Blast TV major final. A phenomenal success. In fact, President Macron actually announced the event himself on Twitter, and then we had every single minister come down and be part of the spectacle across all of the different mainstream TV channels. In Brazil this year, in Sao Paulo, the crowd went absolutely wild. We even had a proposal on stage. It wasn't my wife and I, it was another group of people who apparently wanted to propose. We had another one of them more recent. In fact, everyone seems to want to propose at esports events. There's something going on there. I'm not sure what it's all about, but I'll figure it out. Maybe we'll have one in Malta soon. You never know. The point here is it has an enormous economic impact for the cities and the countries and the states that are hosting these events. And so what we found globally is that businesses and countries around the world are very, very keen on making sure that esports become part and parcel of their day-to-day business life. And as examples here, we can really showcase the economic impact that esports and gaming can have on an economy. But more than just that immediate impact, you want to create lasting legacy, lasting impact across the board. You want to create an ecosystem where you can teach people to learn, where many people here in this audience today are going to be future people working within the esports ecosystem. You may never be players, you may never be the best Fortnite player on the planet, but you certainly could be a broadcaster, a production operator, a camera supervisor, someone that works behind the scene, someone that does in-game software engineering. There is jobs for everyone within this community, and if you think about the global gaming market, it's very valuable. And this is why countries and states are very keen to invest behind it. One of the guys in my team put this together, and he said that in 2026, we're going to have more output than Live Golf, than Formula One, and the Super Bowl. I don't know how true that is, but I thought it was a great statistic. By 2027, in fact, we will have 25 live shows around the world. And operating at that scale is a formidable task in terms of the amount of people that work within our organization. We have 150 people, full-time staff, and thousands of freelancers that work with us across the globe. And every one of them wears the shirt, the hoodie, and the rest of it. I just want to make a segue into the fourth recipe here, which is a direct-to-consumer proposition. It's very important to keep your community engaged and entertained. And so we've built from the ground up a new type of consumption model around streaming, and something that's hugely exciting and hugely compelling for the future. You can do an enormous amount within here. You can communicate with the casters. You can actually interact with the content. You can decide who goes out on stage first. We did something in Copenhagen recently where we were enabling the audience to decide who smokes the inside of the screen or the area where the players were playing, and it was very successful. And so it's a pure recipe to success. On the back of that, you saw many of these brands featured within the opening sizzle once we had that played. But it's very important as you think about the future of gaming, of how you interact with those commercial partners. There's some wonderful partners here integrated within Malta, within this particular conference, but ultimately you want to do really cool digital activations within inside it. And we've started doing some really phenomenal stuff within some of our work around MVPs and media backdrops. And so really what I want to leave you with as a notion for success is these core recipes to success in terms of what you can build as a business. In a nutshell, there are really four things I want you to remember from the back of this presentation, other than Tony Drago, Brian Adams, and my Colombian wife. The first is fan-first production. The second is making sure that you have a multi-title offering. The third is edge-of-your-seat entertainment. You want to make sure that the people just don't even leave for a moment. I'm sounding very British here, to go and make a cup of tea or to go to the restroom, right? You want to make sure they're glued to the screen. And ultimately, it's all about uniting fans globally. That global fandom has never been more important and never been more apparent than when you host an event with 10,000 people in a room, or even when you're in a smaller setting, in a studio setting, when the players are going wild, the casters are going wild, and the fans globally are making that happen. It's been a pleasure to be with you here today. Please email me, get in touch. I'd love to chat. It's been a wonderful time here, and thank you so much for hosting me at the conference.